Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm DrHamfist. We're going to be playing probably as the Ironclad today, I'm thinking. There are some new patch notes, which they look like a mess when you're in the beta branch a bit, but several of them, they did move the blue slaver out of the weak monster pool. I think we've actually had deaths to that before. And then also, Ascension mode now goes to level 15 right here, and Ascension mode can alternatively be unlocked if you have won at least 5 times across all characters. So, I think we're at 2 wins out of like 7 attempts or something on this save. Relatively poor performance so far, but after our 3rd win from today, we will unlock Ascension mode, which has 15 levels now, I guess. I'm not sure how exactly that works. I think the last 5 or 6 levels were set before, so they've added on another 9 or so. So hopefully, chalk up another win and unlock some cards to prepare for a 15 level Ascension mode, which I have no idea how tough it's going to be to get to the bottom of that, but aiming to do that at some point. Let's take the Ironclad out for a spin. It's been a while. And as far as our bonus, this one's always a bit trickier. Anytime on the silent, always just switch out that relic. But this Burning Blood is a pretty good relic, actually. So obtain a curse and choose a rare card. No, I don't think so. Unless rare is the yellow cards, I can't imagine that would be worth it. Max HP and remove a card from our deck. I don't particularly like any of those. If anything, removing a card. And if we do remove a card, we remove a basic strike, I would say. Maybe we do that. Make a defensive list. I don't think a random boss relic is consistently better than 6 HP every fight. It might be. We've also been doomed by this before, and I think the Snecko Eye is in that pool. Let's try removing a card from our deck. Swap out a basic strike. And then maybe we can go for an extra thin list and develop some sort of infinite. Last time I tried that, it didn't work out that well though, so we're not going to go too all in on that strategy. Yeah, so this is the latest shop I'm seeing. And we can hit that from either of these 2 directions. Probably don't want to hit the other shop. These are basically identical paths. I think we'll say unknown before the fight, because unknown usually has the ability to help a fight, whereas fights usually don't have the ability to help an unknown afterwards. And then probably want to hit this unknown. I'm assuming we want to hit the elite over the normal enemy. There's a shop here, and then these are basically the same path. So that seems fine. Alright, and we have extra defend compared to a normal list, so... Ooh, well... I guess we can just 15 defend and just let them both swing at us. Because we'll take 4 if we don't. If we want to hit one of them, we will take 4 to do it. We can't just bash and kill one, can we? No. Because, wait, hold on. So, I think bash strike is 8 and then 9, which is not enough. Yeah, 17, not 19, which he has. Okay. So, we're definitely double defending. The option is defend, or we could strike this guy. I think we'll double defend and look for an opening where they, or I should say triple defend, and look for an opening where they aren't both attacking. And probably just defend once and take 2, if that's the case. Yeah. So here we go. Well, we're definitely defending once. And then this one's weaker. We're definitely striking it. Question is, do we strike this one too, or do the other defend? I think we defend. Should be able to kill this one and then get a defend up to block him if he's attacking. If he's not attacking, we just go all out. Okay. Yeah, so, okay, the math on this is a little bit annoying. It takes 2 attacks to kill this one, short of using bash only. But we can't do all 4 attacks because they cost 4 total. So we're actually just going to bash this one. Ooh, we're weakened. We're weakened. Don't fall for the trap. Okay. Ooh. That's very devious. Alright, so I guess we'll just... I mean, it doesn't even matter what we do. Yeah. All we could do is kill that one. It takes... Yeah, there's no way we could have killed that one and still damaged this one. Okay, well, this is good though. Doesn't even do anything, but... Should be able to get next turn with the vulnerability, even though we are still weakened. Those usually roughly balance out. Yeah, because it just deals 6. Okay. Didn't take any. That's probably overly cautious with the Ironclad. You're allowed to be a little bit more gung-ho. What do we want here, if anything? Tempted to say the Whirlwind. If you're going for a defensive list, Whirlwind is actually pretty good because you can use only that card to deal a lot of damage when you draw all of your defensive tools and don't need them. It's also good against group fights. So it's not actually a bad hedge for a defensive list. And there it is. Okay. So we could defend and play this to deal 10 to both and take 3. Seems fine. Leaves him at 19, which is an annoying number because there's no way we're going to count up to that. And in light of that, I think defend, strike. The other option is bash. Because strike is down to 7, which is still more than 1 strike. I guess bash is fine. Either way, not dead to 1 strike no matter what we do. So I guess strike probably arguably better. Does not matter though. Yeah, this deck's thin enough, we still have a lot of offense all the time. Yeah, that's the interesting thing is, if you have vulnerable, combo this. This can be used as part of an infinite. It's a bad infinite card, but it can be an infinite card. And the only thing we've added was a Whirlwind. Now granted, we don't want anything added if we're going for an infinite, but... This slows us down if we're trying to go for an infinite, but I'm tempted to because we have one of the cards that works with it already. Are we fine with missing 175 gold? I think we are. So the catch with this, right? You can pay 75 gold to remove this doubt, but if you're already trying to thin your deck for an infinite, that extra card does just exponentially increase the cost of all further cards, and it sets you 1 back. So I think it's not worth the gold. I'm going to say that. Could be wrong. And we're going to try to avoid picking up cards if at all possible. Including cards that do remove themselves when you play them. I think last time we went for an infinite, we picked up several power cards that remove themselves when you play them, but you do have to play them to get rid of them in the first place, which is not so perfect. And yeah, Whirlwind only deals 5 per energy, so the strikes are slightly more efficient than it. Yeah, and for anybody not familiar, when I say infinite, we're working towards an infinite, which I say all the time. What I mean by that is, if your opponent is vulnerable, and your dropkick, whenever played, gives you an energy back and draws a card, say I had 2 of these in my deck and I've removed everything else, or at least enough that nothing else is in my discard. Well, I would play 1 dropkick, get the energy back, draw a card, that card would be the other dropkick, and then I would just play them repeatedly until the enemy died, right? So it would kill the enemy, short of them having some annoying power that like randomizes my costs or like makes them take less damage each hit. Short of something like that. Yeah, so I think we bash defend here. Possibly strike. I'm going to say we bash. We can play Whirlwind for kicks. It does nothing. He's going to have block up, so he's actually going to have a lot of health. And if he has more health, I think the vulnerability is more impactful. It's not going to be enough, though, is it? Actually, I think it is. Barely. Yes. Yeah, just enough by 1. And I think the math on that is we would not have gotten there without the vulnerable. Weak potion, we will take it. And I think we're passing on these. The only one I would consider would be disarm. But we ran into problems before trying to get down to a very small number of cards. So I think we want to pass on the disarm. We're going to try it. We're going to go all in on this strat, probably lose for trying to do it, and have to go back to the drawing board. But I do want to succeed at this mission at least once. So, short of something that helps us go infinite, we're probably removing a card here. So what is thinking ahead? Draw 2 cards, put a card from your hand on top of your draw pile, and exhaust this. I don't think that helps us. We also can't afford it anyway. I don't know why I'm reading it. I guess because it's new and I just want to know. Alright. I don't think any of these really help us. So let's remove. Probably another strike. I think this time remove another strike. At worst, our dropkick is just a bad strike. So in a sense, we've replaced it. And then Whirlwind. Whirlwind can make up for us having low number of strikes because it can actually apply a lot of damage for energy, even if we don't have several attacks in our hand. So I think we're fine with that. I think we do still take this elite. And just hope it's not the knob. Because we've made our deck terrible into the knob. Just terrible. I actually might dodge this. There's a rest right after it. I think we're fine. I hope we're fine. Alright, if this fight ends immediately, then at least we haven't wasted much time. Yeah, and the weak potion should probably be applied next turn. Alright, at least the Whirlwind helps a lot here, right? And we're gonna have like Bash Whirlwind next turn at least. Probably Bash Strike still, I think. Okay. Yeah, so, well, do we want to do the weak this turn? He's only swinging 6. I think this fight may go on long enough that he attacks us 3 more times after this attack. No, I think we'll kill him by then. Let's use the weak potion now. It only saves us 2 this turn. We probably should have waited next turn, but it's fine. He's still weak for as long as we're vulnerable, so that still works out for us. So here, dropkick is totally free. We could do this bash. His vulnerable falls off this turn if we don't. So I think we do want to do the bash. And then strike is more efficient than whirlwind. Okay. We may get him next turn. We have a lot of defense in our hand next turn, though. Yes, we do. Okay, so the dropkick is very welcome. And that's another reason to have bashed last turn. Is he dead? Alright, excellent. Alright, we were totally fine to use the weak potion then. That was actually a very clean fight. So, Centennial Puzzle. The first time you lose HP each combat, draw 3 cards. Oh, yes! Yes! This helps you go infinite so hard. We take damage, we draw 3 extra cards, and then our next hand can be just like drop kicks in our discard. So much easier for this. This is really, really good. Regen Potion, awesome. We don't like these. We don't want any of these. Metallicize is an option, but it'll just slow down the infinite. And like when we're in Act 2 and Act 3, the infinite being slower is worse than having 3 armor return. Or having 3 armor return and being slower is worse than being faster to the infinite. That's what I meant, right? You got me, right? All right. So dropkick does not actually meaningfully impact our infinite. If we just pull it off, we pull it off. It doesn't matter. Bash, having extra turns of vulnerable, can mean that we pull it off like the 3rd turn after playing Bash once. The only other thing that would be even better than this would be if we could reduce Bash's cost to make it easier to fit into a turn. But we'll do this. And then we probably do need to pick up another dropkick at some point. Oh, yes! So this lets us destroy a card, and we'll probably not get anything for doing it, but we can destroy a card here. And in fact, I believe destroying this whirlwind might be fine. Because it's at least a blue card, so maybe it gives us something. I think if we destroy Strike, nothing happens. Now, Strike is a worse card than Whirlwind is, so in a sense, we would rather remove Strike than Whirlwind, but I don't know what it does for us if we destroy a blue card. Maybe it just adds 5 to our max health? I think the yellow cards give you 10 max health and a full heal. Let's just scrap this Whirlwind to see what it does. Even though this is a better card. It's probably fine. Maybe? I might really regret this, but I also want to know what a blue card scrapped to the purple fire spirits does. So let's see. It just full heals us. Okay, yeah, that was only like 6 HP we were missing, so would have much rather gotten rid of the strike. But we are 1 card thinner. These 2 are parts of the infinite, and then these 7 aren't. But we also have 8 cards in a hand the turn after we take damage first for the Centennial puzzle. So we actually are really putting it together. So Red Skull, while your HP is at or below 50%, you have 3 extra strength. We'll take it. And then I guess Unknown first, right? Because we don't have enough money to use both removal services, right? No, we don't. We definitely don't. So we'd rather hit another Unknown here. Alright, so Red Slaver. Yeah, so the patch notes addressed Blue Slaver specifically, which leads me to believe there is some functional difference in their color. So Red Slaver must be... I'm actually not sure. Maybe the Red Slaver is still in the early pool, so he is worse than the Blue Slaver, or maybe Blue Slaver is worse and they used to both be in the pool, so they took the blue one out, but the red one's worse? I don't know. I don't know which one's better. One of them is better than the other, though. That much I do know. Yeah, and we can actually apply a lot of hurt, even without going infinite, just having that dropkick pretty consistently out and available. And then we're less scared by turns like this, where he's turned off all of our attacks with Entangled. Well, we have a decent defensive card density, so it's very hard for us to be totally pants down when they start swinging at us. Yeah, so here, we probably have him, yeah. So this deck's already coming together without it even having like a proper like Exodia style combo. 2 regen potions, oh yes. Oh yes. Ha! Dropkick. Alright. We actually might be there already. Kind of. Sort of, maybe. I think we can end up with the dropkicks in our discard or draw. But we're basically there. Alright, this is actually like really working out. Okay. Yeah, we're just definitely taking damage here. So I think we can take it down to 8, but just double defending, and then just strike, I guess, this one. Probably this one, technically, just because his, well, he's swinging more. Maybe he consistently will swing more. We can triple strike to kill one of them. I think it's correct to do the defense, and then I think we just strike here. Yeah. Yeah, with all 3 of them swinging immediately, that's rough. Okay. So, yeah, so here is basically the example. I guess we're 1 card over. Like, we have 1 too many cards in our deck for it to be an infinite yet, but... Now, this doesn't work great against multiple enemies. That's the catch, right? We have to apply Vulnerable. So short of us having like a Thunderclap, so maybe if we get our deck thin enough, we then later take a Thunderclap. And there's not a great way to show it off here. I guess what we can do is we can just like show off the infinite on this one to kill it. And we don't really have the infinite yet, but if he's vulnerable, we can just drop kick him, draw a card, we could drop kick him again, draw a card, and if we have just a few less cards, you'd see we'd start drawing the drop kick. I guess we have to redraw... Well, yeah. So if we do it the turn we play Bash, we have to redraw the Bash and get over that hurdle too. Which is interesting. But what you can do is Bash and then do it the next turn, so you don't have to necessarily redraw the Bash you've already played that turn. Oh, wow. He had a ton of health. I didn't realize. Okay, well, we're taking a bit of damage we didn't need to. For some reason, I just thought we could kill him. Yeah, we do need to shave a few cards off this list yet. Oh, it's because we were weak. We were weak and I wasn't factoring that in. That's what it was. That's okay. So, almost no way we're taking these. Warcry is actually an option, technically. The upgraded Warcry is easily an option. Yeah, this Warcry is just worse than not having it, because you would just have the other card already to begin with. Yeah, so we don't like that. Okay. Oh. Here's where we're somewhat upset we pitched our Whirlwind, yeah? Okay. So, I think Bash Dropkick is enough to kill that one. Might as well take him out, because he's got the most health and is swinging for the most. Several way tie. And then I suppose just defend. We're not going to kill any of them this turn. And then we could activate one of our regen potions. I don't think this fight will go that long. I think with these guys being so small, it'll be pretty easy to stall it out to get some extra HP if we want to, though. Let's just go ahead and turn it on. With us having very few cards in our deck, the potency of any individual card being upgraded at a rest site is greater because we'll find it more often. So even upgrading a crappy basic defend, not the worst option in the world, because we'll find that crappy basic defend much more often than we normally would. Yeah, and I think here we just bash this guy and then just like take him out with the drop kicks, and then play a defend. Or with one dropkick, I guess I should say. We'll take another 3, but we'll heal for 3. So we're kind of net even this turn. And then next turn, I think we can round the corner. Now with us being perma weak, that's a bit annoying. Okay, so I think we will just double defend here. And then just use a strike, and we'll probably just hit this one, I guess. He is the lowest, and we're not killing one anyway. Seems fine. And since he's not attacking this turn, I feel he may be more likely to attack next turn. I don't actually know if there's any science to that. It feels intuitive that they might have a greater chance to do what they didn't do last time. Alright. Yeah, so we definitely want to defend, because we're not going to be able to kill both. And then we might as well just take this one out. We couldn't get this one without all 3 of our energy. Okay. Yeah, so pretty straightforward from here. We're trying to not lose more than 2 more health, but should be able to round that corner now. None of them are gunking up our deck with extra cards, which is the proper weakness of any deck that's trying to go infinite. So, at least they weren't doing that. You have to get your deck very thin to be able to jump over that hurdle. The nice thing is you jump over that hurdle almost immediately when the fight starts, so you either win instantly or you just will not win. That's basically how infinite decks work. Yeah, so here, I don't think it matters upgrading the drop kicks. I think we do the basic defense. There's something to be said for being able to deal damage faster, even if you aren't infinite yet. I think we'd rather upgrade a basic defend, though. Yeah, let's try that. The other catch we're going to run into is enemies with artifact. If the infinite we're doing requires vulnerable, which right now it does, that's going to be tough. There is like a Quicksilver Dagger type card that you can pick up in shops that does damage regardless of the opponent having vulnerable. Like it always costs 0 in redraws and does damage. So that would be a better option if we could find it. And I don't think we're picking up this True Grit. If it were an upgraded True Grit, I'd be much more likely to pick it up. I think we're paying for card removal service, removing a strike, probably. Yeah, I'm going to say a strike, and then I think we chill. The option of picking up the True Grit and then upgrading it is real. You play it once, it already replaces the card that it added itself. And when you upgrade it, it is a better defend. We'll have 1 gold left. Do we want to just save the gold? I think we pass on this. The one thing about this is it can get your deck very thin very quickly to where you can vulnerable like every turn trying to wear down artifact stacks, which we may have to do on certain enemies. I think we're going to skip it. I went for it last time and it doomed me. Well, I don't know if that's what doomed me, but I did die. So here we will upgrade, obviously, and we'll just do another defend. At some point, we'll stop upgrading defense because we'll want to get rid of them. But here, my understanding is this is the slime boss. Okay, this should be no problem at all, I would think. After we removed the that one card. Removing one more card, I think... Well, actually, I guess we should probably try to take damage here with one hit. Especially if he's going to add... Okay, well, that's annoying. Okay, well, let's get him vulnerable and hit him. Yeah, we might, like, not go proper infinite on this fight. Even though I think we technically can. Yeah, so I believe... No, it says next turn. Ah, that's so bad. Alright, well, let's redraw with these. Yeah, we definitely don't need to do that. So, well, this is so rough. So what's going to happen here? We're going to block up as much as we can. He's going to damage us. Damage us, going to trigger Centennial, which would be good, except we also have draw reduction next turn by 1, and I think that's going to stop us from going infinite. We're either infinite or we're 1 card shy. Right? Because we drop kick here. Yeah, and then this is one of our drop kicks, and that's one of our drop kicks, and how do we draw it? So that 1 card draw reduction has actually just ruined us this fight. Just properly ruined us. Okay. That is so annoying. Alright. So let's make sure we count everything up and do the math right. We don't want him to fall below 71. We want him to be vulnerable already the turn we start to take him below 71. So right now he's at 94. We can deal 23 more damage to him. And right now, everything is dealing 50% more. And we'd like to defend this turn if we could. So we can deal 23. These are 9. This is 15. So we cannot do both of these. That would put him below. But we do want to bash, because we want him to stay vulnerable next turn. Yeah, that's exactly too much damage. So we'll defend. Okay. Yeah, we have him just too healthy. If I had put way more thought into this before, I might have caught that going into it. And I think we gotta go for it right now, right? Because we could pass this turn. And then start the whole chain next turn. What are we gonna draw next turn, though? No, we're gonna draw like nothing next turn. And he's gonna swing for a ton. Yeah, we've got to do this, right? Strike, please? Okay, we did get the strike. Well, I guess we aren't going to use it, though. Because we're going to bash and strike. Because we can only do 2 of these 3 attacks. Alright, 41. Decent job. Forcing him to split. Not brilliant. Okay. I think this guy adds gunk to our deck and this one makes us weak. I think that's the way these guys work. So we want to take this one out first. And of course we've drawn no bash this turn. That would be the one line where we might have... Well, he actually just... Do I have that wrong? Didn't he just add gunk to us and this one made us weak? I think I just saw that. Oh, we're frail. I maybe should have just done all the attacks instead there. Alright, well, he's not splitting yet, but he will split next time we hit him. But we can probably get him very low. Yeah, so he made us frail, not weak. This one makes us frail. Well, I think we have him. And he won't even need to split. Which is excellent. Yeah, when you can make the like mid-tier slimes not even split, that's brilliant. When you make the boss not even split by going infinite and killing him, that's even better. But we couldn't pull that this turn. Or this fight. Yeah, so weak and frail, quite annoying, and deck filling very quickly with wounds. I say very quickly. The deck's not going to have like more wounds than a normal deck would. It's just that we'll see them so much more often. And we'll take a big hit here. I think we're not going to commit the regen potion. We should be able to get by without it, especially because everything's going to fall off next turn. Yeah, and we just got strength. Well, we're getting something back, but he is perfectly at 22, which is just above the split area. All right, pretty clean fight. I rarely struggle greatly with the slime boss. I have a very clear understanding of his mechanics. We're passing on all these, right? Well, actually, this, you have to find it and play it. But after you find it and play it, you lose 1 HP, but you're just like that much more into the infinite. I don't know if it's worth the fact that you have to find it first. In fact, I think it's not. This is like very close to correct to pick this one up. I think this is objectively wrong. If you draw this and bash, it doesn't work out for you. This is very close to me wanting to take it. I also wonder what the upgraded version of it is. I don't think there's any way to check that while you're picking them, short of like going and Googling it. Yeah, I don't think we want this. I think we're going to pass. That might be the wrong decision. But last time, I took a ton of cards that like cost 0 and remove themselves, or like, you know, remove other cards, and it didn't work at all. So my gut tells me I can't take those, and I just need to avoid all the cards I can. Just stay true to the goal of going infinite. Alright, so elites now drop 2 relics when defeated. Could be fine. At the end of your turn, you no longer discard your hand. Draw 1 less card each turn. That's potentially huge. It basically guarantees a turn 2 infinite every single fight. I think I'm taking that. Let's see here. So Tiny House is just bad. Black Star's fine, and the key thing to understand about Black Star or anything like it, it's much better if you pick it up on the first boss. That means you have this bonus all through Acts 2 and 3, so it's much better if I grab it now, and if we properly complete our infinite, we might be able to just mow down bosses, or sorry, elites, trivially. The catch here is, if we're fighting things with Artifact, we can't go infinite until we remove all their stacks of Artifact. If we have to do that, we can just bash and use our best defend card. Bash and use our best defend card very easily, because we'll only draw what we discard. With Runic Pyramid, we'll basically hold our whole deck. So if we play bash in our defend card, we'll discard those and redraw them and replay them. So Runic Pyramid gives us an out. Not a great one, but when we're getting destroyed by Artifact guys that we have to like repeatedly play bash against, this gives us some sort of course of action. So we're going to take that. It means getting a turn 1 infinite is 1 card harder, but everything after that is just so much easier. So we'll try that when we take on, I think it's the Bronze Automaton. I think we've seen that before. That's the guy that does have Artifact. So we're going to try to shape up this deck to be better at tearing through Artifact, but it's going to be going infinite on turn 2 pretty consistently. So tune in next time to see what those turn 2 infinites look like as we try to gear it towards quickly peeling through Artifact. We're going to look for another source of some sort of like poison or weaken or whatever. Ideally vulnerable if we can find it, and ideally Thunderclap if we can find it, because that allows us to go infinite on groups, which right now we don't have a course of action for. Yeah, so tune in next time to see us try to shape up the deck in those ways I just described. See you then.